Hello, everyone. Welcome back. It's been quite a while. You are watching the Boiling Point podcast, and after a long absence, our Christmas break, and then I had to move, so I was on a little bit of a hiatus. So I am happy to disappoint some of the people who don't like us and who were probably excited that maybe we were going away, but we are absolutely not. We are going to be here for a good long while. And this marks the kickoff episode of our return for our 2026 season. And I'm very excited. We have a lot of things planned, especially over the next couple of weeks and months, including a mini-series I'm going to do on moving with disabilities. I'm going to recount and talk about my experience with the move that I had, both with hotels and what I encountered. And it's probably going to be 3 or 4 episode miniseries on that. So I'm excited about that one. I think that one will be exciting. And a lot of people will be interested to hear what I experienced during the move. In addition to that, we also have Ms. Pa's Becoming a Father series making its return finally. We've had a lot of people commenting, and we've even had some people reach out to the page asking about if his series was going to come back and when it was going to come back. So we will be bringing that back. It's going to be under a new format. Him and I are going to do one episode for the first episode back, but then after that, it's going to be more of a docu-series kind of a show than with me asking him questions and us having a conversation. So it's going to be moving towards more of a docu-series kind of a style. In addition to that, we're also going to be doing another docu-series with a new team member who we're not announcing quite yet. If he's tuning in, then you just have to be patient a little bit longer. We're not ready to reveal it quite yet, but we have a brand new show that'll be coming out. And of course, during my absence, Mariana kept things going. She did a couple of episodes reporting on a number of different things. I'm very grateful that she kept the ball moving while I was incapacitated and not able to make too much content. So, and of course, we'll be going back to our West Shore School District coverage. Look for that episode probably sometime towards the end of the week or early next week to recap what's been going on, to talk about the West Shore School District. The mini-series for my Moving with Disabilities miniseries will be, I'll be shooting my first episode this week, and I'll probably be releasing it this weekend. And then Ms. Pa's Becoming a Father series should also be starting here by the end of March. And our new series with our new guy, who we're keeping that hush-hush yet, that'll be starting in April. And also in April, we'll be bringing in the New Testament survey to go with our Old Testament survey. Pastor Gavin and I are going to be talking through the New Testament. So the next couple of months, we got a lot of content, a lot of great episodes coming out. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Now, I did want to talk about something, not just about my return and the upcoming content. And for anybody who's tuning in, that's what the first part, a couple minutes of the episode was about, me talking about what's upcoming with the Boiling Point podcast. But I did want to talk about the halftime show and the dual halftime shows. And I believe I'm going to be having a guest join me here. Andrew Poletto from Popcorn and Whiskey, I believe, is going to be hopping in any second. I'm just sending him a message to see to let him know that I am ready for him to hop in. So I have we're going to talk about the dueling halftime shows and some of the chaos of that. And there he is. So let's get him in here. Oh, let me change my there we go. And the Boiling Point podcast officially changes its name for the next couple minutes to Popcorn, Whiskey, and Weed. Welcome.
Hey.
Welcome to Popcorn, Whiskey, and Weed with JD and Andrew Poletto. Of course, he has his own show called Popcorn and Whiskey. And we always joke when I come on his show, it's renamed Popcorn, Whiskey, and Weed because I only eat popcorn at the movies and I don't really drink. So but I do smoke. It's for medicinal purposes, not solely for medicinal purposes. Anybody who says that it's solely for medicinal purposes is likely fibbing to you a little bit.
That's why I drink for medicinal purposes. Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. I like that. We'll save that. We'll save the holes I could poke through that for a later time.
Exactly. So when you come on my show, we call it Popcorn, Whiskey, and Weed. So when I come on your show, we got the Boiling Point podcast, or the boiling
The
point.
boiling point popcorn
We could do that, or
or the boiling popcorn.
the boiling still.
The boiling still. That's not bad
Boiling
either.
moonshine still. I don't know.
Yeah. We'll come up with
have to
something,
think
though.
of something there.
Yeah. We'll come up with something, though. I like that. Yeah, we'll come up with something. We'll get some T-shirts made and stuff too. Make some money off of it. So thanks for coming on the Boiling Point podcast. This is my first show back on my air. I joined Andrew several times while I was on my journey. We were talking about the Olympics mostly, but it was nice to have him come on my show now. And we're going to talk about the halftime show and the dueling halftime shows, the competing halftime shows here. Okay. So first of all, do you have any specific thoughts on on the competing halftime shows? The fact that we're two? Because I want to address there's two things I want to address. I've seen so many people online crazy over this, and I want to point out some of the hypocrisy of this, and it's from both sides too, not just from one.
Oh, absolutely,
it's from both sides, absolutely. So, but I want to talk about whether or not there should be competing halftime shows, and then I want to talk about, does it matter which one you actually watched, and should it matter to your friends or family which one you watched? So. What are your thoughts first on the fact that there was this year a competing halftime show?
My thoughts are it's music, it's entertainment. If you don't like one, you tuned into the other, so be it. It wasn't a disrespect for one versus the other, in my opinion. It wasn't a disrespect one versus the other. It was more, I'm a huge Kid Rock fan.
Yeah,
and I don't care who would have been doing a halftime show. It could have been the Beatles, and I like the Beatles as well. But I would have tuned into Kid Rock regardless, because I'm a huge Kid Rock fan. So it had no bearing to me on who was actually doing the halftime show for the Super Bowl. Now, you'll have people say, well, the only reason that the other place did it is because of a Bugs Bunny. I mean, what's his name?
Bad Bunny. I love that, though. Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny.
And I brought that up on your show because that was one of the reasons that I left his show on for a minute, to confirm that what he tweeted out was going to be correct, and then I turned it off. See, that's the thing. When you're a performer and you tell people to turn your channel off, then if they don't agree with what you say, then they're likely just going to turn you off. Mm-hmm. And so as soon as he said, well, if you don't speak Spanish, don't watch my halftime show, I said, okay, I don't really speak Spanish, so I guess I won't watch your halftime show.
Yeah, simple as that. Yeah.
But yeah, that's how simple it was for me. It had nothing. I was actually going to watch both. I was going to have one on my device and then leave the game on, the regular halftime show, right? That was my plan. I was going to watch both so I could comment on both.
Right.
I did watch the first minute of it. But as soon as I saw that it was all, it was all going to be in Spanish, and obviously it was all themed the way it was, I was like, okay, I'm turning this off. I'm going to go watch the American halftime show. And that's one thing that I'm going to bring up now with you, Andrew, and you're more than welcome to disagree with me if you'd like. But football, I don't think people are going crazy over this, and they're also going crazy over it just to go crazy over it, right?
Yep.
For me, the issue was, it's not about race or the color of your skin or any of that. For me, it was more about culture. Football is an American sport.
Yep.
The Super Bowl is the epitome, is the culmination of the American sport of football, and crowning a champion.
Yep.
It takes place in America. We made the sport, and that was when Bad Bunny said, "Well, if you don't speak Spanish, turn off my show." That kind of struck me. I'm like, wait a minute, this is an American sport. It's our culture, and now you're trying to hijack it with your halftime show.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. That I had a problem with that personally, because it's not about race. It has nothing to do with that. It's about culture. There are people trying to change our culture right now, not just all the other stuff, the noise that are going on. But at the heart of it, some of it is changing. They want to change the culture of America.
I agree with most of what you're saying. Probably I should let me rephrase. I agree with everything what you're saying, but the reason I didn't watch it is one, like I said, because of Kid Rock. But even if Kid Rock was not playing opposite of Bad Bunny, I probably wouldn't have watched it anyway. Oh, I mean, wherever I was at a buddy's house, so I'm sure he would have had his TV on there, and I'm not going to tell him to change the channel. It's his TV, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
But if I was in a position where I could have changed the channel, I probably would have. And just for the fact that up until going into the halftime show, or up until he was announced, or Bad Bunny was announced for the show, or whatever, he was one badmouth in the U.S. and said, "I'm not going to play anywhere in the U.S. because I'm afraid I'll get deported." One, you're an idiot because you're a U.S. citizen if you're Puerto Rican, first of all. So we won't even get into that one.
Yeah.
But if you're afraid to come into the continental United States because you think you're going to get arrested, well, to me, you're being an idiot, first of all. And I don't want to watch a bunch of people who hate America. That's what I think. If you're not wanting to come to this country, step foot in the country, that means you don't like the country, in my opinion.
Yeah.
For instance, I'm not going to go to Iraq. I'm not going to go anywhere over there. Why? Because I probably don't like the people over there. Or I don't like what they stand for. Put it that way.
And the culture. It's the culture. It comes down to
it's the culture. The culture.
Yeah. It's
and so since I'm saying that out loud now, if somebody from that country would call me and say, "Hey Andrew, why don't you come host your podcast over in our country?" And I did that, I would hope the whole country boycotts me because I said something about it. I mean, it's just that simple. Yeah, I don't know how else you can interpret that.
That's the same way that I feel about it. And but all the noise that I've been seeing is that it's all about whether you're American or you're racist. Like if you didn't watch Bad Bunny, you're a racist. If you did watch Bad Bunny, it means you're un-American. It's coming from both sides, and it's so ridiculous.
Yeah,
because they also both are having the wrong argument. That's what drives me crazy too, is that the wrong argument is even happening.
Well, I guess I can't say this because I didn't see anything what Bad Bunny said before, during, or after. I just don't pay attention to him. But even Kid Rock said that if you want to watch whoever you watch, you just like it. I mean, I'm paraphrasing. You like it, you go watch it. And they asked him if he saw the halftime show, and he said something that was really basically right up there saying, I'm sure he did a great performance, blah, blah, blah. I don't even know if he said he saw it or not, but he did a great performance. I mean, he didn't disrespect Bad Bunny whatsoever. Yeah. He also didn't say, my show is better than his or anything like that. He just, as a fellow performer, hey, great. I'm glad he did a good time. I had a good time with it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Kid Rock was extremely classy.
Yeah. And that's what a lot of people are losing, like that where you don't have to hate somebody just because they're doing something different or putting on a different product or a different show.
Exactly.
That doesn't mean that you have to hate them. And that's what it seems like a lot of people, and you can see who's stirring the pot. The pot's just stirred, and it's you're either a racist or not. And that's why I wanted to make sure I covered this on our first episode, because
absolutely. Yeah.
It's noise. Ignore the noise. Okay. Let people watch what they want to watch. And if you really want to have an argument, then at least have the right one.
I equate it. And this is my simple brain thinking about this. When I was growing up, and my buddies and I used to go out, whoever was driving got to pick the place where we'd stop to get drinks, soda pop, stuff like that. If I was driving, I would always go to a place that served Pepsi products because I was a huge Mountain Dew fan. Does that mean I disliked everything else? No, I just liked Pepsi more. So I wanted to go get Mountain Dew. Yeah. If somebody else was driving, they wanted to go get Coke products, we'd go get Coke products. But that was, again, my little pea brain, that's the way I interpret it.
Yeah. No, but that's right.
You like it, you watch this. You don't like it, you watch that. But then it boils down to, okay, so why did the other place put their show against the halftime show? That's what I think it all boils down to.
Yeah.
Which I can't answer that.
And that's another topic for discussion right there, is why did Turning Point USA put on another halftime show? It looks and it appears, based on everything, that they did it in response to Bad Bunny and the remarks that he made on social media, Twitter and X, if you will. That's what it looks like. They put on to counter his saying, well, if you don't speak Spanish, don't watch my show. So Turning Point USA said, okay, well then Americans are going to be turning off the halftime show. Let's give them something to tune into. Yep. So I think it was both. It was part patriotic a little bit. I mean, I'm sure that they did it for that reason, the reason that I just described, but it was also part business. Let's not forget that.
Absolutely.
They brought in viewership. They likely brought in people who have never seen them before. I mean, did get a lot of views. I don't know if it got as many as are being reported. You can inflate views on YouTube and Rumble, if you really want to. There's ways around that. Plus, with marketing and stuff, you're bound to get lots of bots. So the views are the views. Let's not get into that because online views can be skewed, Andrew, as we know. So I think, again, it just goes back to what we were saying, where, watch what you want to watch and don't hate somebody else because they want to watch something different. Because
exactly,
as soon as you start hating somebody else, then that's where the divide's going to just get increase, and our society will just continue to fracture more than it already is.
And like you said earlier, both sides have been bad about saying different things. Okay, let's without getting into a lot of but I've seen a lot more coming from the left that saying, okay, you're racist because you watch something else. Well, what? What? So
it's just ridiculous.
Yeah,
just to see that. Yeah, that and they're always the ones that are loud. But there are people on the right, and I'll give that argument. The people on the right who are saying that, that it's the people who are inflating the numbers too, pushing. Oh, look, Bad Bunny got cremated by the Turning Point USA. It's likely not Turning Point USA doing this. It's likely other influencers and stuff. But it's all about Oh, well, we smashed them. It's not. Why does it have to be a competition? Why does it matter who had more viewers? Did you have enough viewers that you made money off of what you put on? Then why are you complaining about it?
And here's the thing. If you have any kind of intelligence about you at all, and it doesn't matter where you fall politically, there is nobody on the planet on Super Bowl Sunday that's going to outperform the NFL's broadcast. Nobody, whether it's this game or the halftime show. As it is right now. Maybe in the future it might, but as of right now, that's such a huge juggernaut. You're not going to outdo them. So don't even say, even if it's inflated numbers, you're not going to outdo the viewership. You're just not.
Because like you said, even if people turned on Turning Point USA's show, like they likely did it on their device. They likely got their phone out. They likely left the TV on. They didn't want to turn the TV off and turn the game off. They likely left the game on. The halftime show still played on their TV, and they likely checked out the Turning Point USA show on their phone or device.
Well, I don't know, because the house I was at watching it, they turned off the game itself and turned on the TV to the. They went to Rumble to watch it.
I'm sure that a lot of people did. I did that. I literally did turn off the halftime show just because I didn't want them to be able to record that views. But that's not everybody. We're kind of hard. We're kind of in tune to the fact that our viewership numbers matter. So if we turn something off, we know that even though it might be small, it's still something. But a lot of people don't get that. So they'll leave it on their TV and they'll have another TV, or they'll have the other halftime show on their device, their tablet or something. So I think that happened a lot too. So I think a lot of your viewerships for both shows are likely the same person watching both shows.
Well, and also, and I'm sure you've seen the videos. There's one particular going around, or was going around, where somebody was at a bar watching the game, and then when they turned it to the halftime show, he got all up in the owner's face and said, "No, I paid for the Super Bowl entertainment, and I want it to be on your TVs." There's 40 or 50 TVs all around. And the owner says, "Sorry, that's what we're watching this halftime show on this one." So they had a lot of eyeballs on that with only one streaming device going on. I guess I would assume that's only one streaming device. If all your TVs are on one particular thing, does that mean it's every TV is its own streaming device, or there's one location?
If he has the ability, if he has both like that, then he likely has the ability to probably put whatever he wants on whatever channel, on whatever TV he wants. That's usually how most of those places are. It's that's how the commercial places work. They have multiple hookups so that multiple TVs can watch different channels and stuff. So
right.
Yeah, that's he probably could have, but again, that's another person who knows what consumerism is and knows that if he turns it on, that's a view that they're getting. So he chose not to have that on in his bar. And to be clear about everything, so that we're all clear on what the laws in America are, that bartender was well within his right not to have that show on if he didn't want to, because it's his business.
It's his business. Exactly.
Yeah. A lot of people think that businesses are public places, but they're not. They're any privately owned business is privately owned by that person, and they get to do whatever they want. They can refuse service to whoever they want.
Yep.
Now there's laws to make sure that you can't refuse service based on certain criteria.
Of course, yeah.
But you have other, you're well within your right when you own a place to have what you want on or off TV or promote what you want and any of that,
Mm-hmm.
So,
yep.
And I just think it got crazy. That's why I wanted to come on and do an episode about it, because I was just watching after it happened that social media went crazy. I'm looking at all these people, and furthermore, I'm even seeing from the conservative side, like I'm seeing people like Matt Walsh and the Daily Wire and some of the leaders in the conservative media are also doing the same thing, where they want the views, they want the likes, they want the hits off of the controversy. And
of course.
That was something, and that made me even more mad, dude. It's probably good that I wasn't able to do any podcast after that happened, because I was really mad because there's so many people that I follow, Michael Knowles, and they're posting things that are inflammatory. And they just recently started doing it in the last year or two, coincidentally, when Trump started getting close to being president. Before that, it was all about facts and what were the facts and what is the evidence. Now it's not. Now that Trump's president, it's all inflammatory. It's all to get more likes, to get more views. And that makes me mad as a content creator, because I am here to make some money. Okay. I would like the Boiling Point podcast to grow into something that's a business. Okay. But we won't start saying things that aren't true, that just for views.
Well, okay. And here's where you and I could have a little bit of a debate, and not an argument, but just a debate.
Yeah.
And if you post or do something that's controversial, like, for instance, what you and I are doing right now could be considered extremely controversial, because as you can see, I lean toward the right. But again, I didn't not watch one because I didn't like him. I watched the other one because I liked him. And there's a huge difference in the two.
Yeah.
But controversy creates cash. And if you're in business to make money, as you are, as I am online, and because Facebook changed their whole algorithm if you're monetized on there, and I just found this out recently, because I just recently became monetized, and so I'm changing up a few things that I'm doing on there to see. They're getting paid. I mean, they're paying their creators for people to stay on the platform, and if you create some sort of controversy, you're going to have people stay on that particular page and start reading the comments more, or stick around and see what you're going to say.
Yeah.
That's what they're paying you for. So,
but if you're,
I'm not saying not be truthful,
but if you built your business on building your business, if you built your business a certain way by laying out the facts, okay, and now you start posting things that are intentional to make people want to comment inflammatory messages to you, to drive more views and stuff. Like, I noticed there was a change in their whole social media presence. That's what I've noticed over the last 18 months with certain pages. It's a change in their entire way that they're doing it, with what they're posting.
Is it a change of what they're posting, or a change of how people are reacting to their posts?
No, it's a change in what they're posting and how they're giving the information. For example, and I'll call these guys out. I'm a fan of the Hodge twins.
Yeah.
They also have the conservative twins. It's their alternate page. I'm a fan of them.
Yeah, me too.
All during the Biden administration, it was fact, with links giving us the exact video that they were commenting on, showing us exactly what happened every time. Now we're getting posts about AOC said this. It's just a meme. AOC said this. No link to the video.
Okay.
No link to a story that follows up. Just a meme with the conservative twins logo and pasting on it.
I guess I haven't noticed that part. Okay.
When you see their posts, look if they're giving you any kind of, because I remember it was the Hodge twins that I first noticed started doing this, was that they would post a meme, but then they would post a link in the comments so that you could go validate it. So you could go verify that this was just said. That's what they were one of the first ones that started doing it. I was like, oh, this is a great idea, because then not only are you giving yourself a comment, but you're also able to provide the link, because Facebook sometimes doesn't like you when you put images and links in the same post.
Right.
So I was like, oh, that's great. And then now all of a sudden not. And today, the one I'm talking about, AOC said something, but there's no link, there's no context, there's no nothing.
So are you talking about AOC herself, but there's no context or just the link.
No, it was the post of the Hodge twins. I'm looking right now to see if I kept it up on my page.
Because there's no context in there going on with her anyway.
The post was just about AOC said something about it was Ecuador being in the below the equator.
No, Venezuela being
Venezuela. I'm sorry. Yes, it was Venezuela being below the equator.
She said that at the
yeah, it was a post. It was an image with one of her crazy faces. And it was it wasn't like even a picture of something that was a story that she said that was a quote out of a story. It was just somebody hit quotation marks and then typed it in.
No, she said it. There's videos going around. She said
and I agree. And I found that out. But what I'm saying is the Hodge twins.
They didn't link to it.
Yeah, it was just the meme.
They should have linked to it. Right.
They completely stopped giving you the link in the comments. Hey, do you want to verify this? You want to see this for yourself?
Got it.
They completely stopped doing that. And that's one of the things a lot. And they're not the only ones. I don't want to just say that's only the Hodge twins. There's other conservative people who were doing that and are no longer doing that. And I don't like that. You can't just post a meme. How long during the Biden administration did people like you and me, Andrew, tell people you can't believe a meme? Just because it's on a meme on Facebook doesn't make it fact and true.
You're exactly right. You're 1,000% right.
Now the conservative people, the people who were saying, hey, you can't just believe it just because it's on Facebook, are now doing the same thing. That's why I'm so disappointed in some of the people, conservative
makes sense.
Podcasters that I've been following, because it's agitating that you built your business off this and now all of a sudden it's not. Christy, hello. Thank you for tuning in.
Hi, Christy.
She's one of our team members, actually. She does Simply Speaking with Mariana. Her and Mariana do our Simply Speaking series. So that may be coming. That'll probably be coming back in the next couple months too, everybody.
Good.
But so yeah, it was just, it's craziness, and like I said, it's coming from both sides, not just, of course the leftists are saying, you're racist, but then the conservatives aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing either.
Well, I told you the story I had. I mean, I know we're getting far away from what we what your show is about, so I don't want to get into it much. But I was friendly with the young lady online, and for business purposes. Mm-hmm. And then she saw that I made a post about JD Vance being at the Olympics. I said, "No, go USA," and she freaked out and said she didn't want anything to do with me because it seems like I lean right. So, all right,
yeah, I've had family members that don't want anything to do with me because I say what I say on this podcast. So, and I'm like, well, I'm not the one, people talk to me, other family members are like, well, why don't you reach out and talk to them? I'm like, it's not on me. It's not on me at this point. I've actually reached out and tried to reach back out. They haven't, they don't respond. It's not on me at this point. So yeah, you just gotta let those people who are just miserable, you just got to let them go.
Yep.
Thank you for tuning in, Christy. I appreciate it. Make sure you hit the share button. I can't wait to have you back on an episode again soon.
I don't see how people can live with so much hate in their heart.
No, it's so exhausting. How do you do that, man?
Yeah.
I got so mad about the conservatives doing the wrong thing with their posts and stuff over the last couple months. And I'm like, man, it's exhausting being angry.
Pretty much.
It's just not worth it, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, and that's why I'm not angry. During this episode, I'm not angry now, but I am, animated about it because it's important to me, and I think it's important that people know that even the conservative side are changing, their tactics now that is in the presidency and stuff, and that's who you're going to see. That's where you're going to see real people who believe what they're actually saying and people who don't believe what they're actually saying.
Yep. So, okay.
Oh, Christy, we're going to be getting moving now that I'm back. It's going to be coming quick. So
have her jump on. Come online right now and say hi.
Oh no, she's probably won't do that. She's not one of those people. Yes, I did, Christy. I did hear that the West Shore School District is now paying for Muslim lunches. I also saw a post that they're also during prayer time they're allowing the students to wash their feet in the sinks.
Oh my gosh.
Huh. So there's a lot happening in the West Shore School District, which, like I said, I will be updating you this weekend. Either Mariana or I will be doing an episode or two coming up this weekend or over the next week to fill you in on that. So, Christy, go back and watch the beginning of our episode. Thank you for tuning in. But once we're finished, go back and watch the beginning of the episode because I went through a whole bunch of stuff that we're going to be getting ready to release that you are probably going to be excited about. So make sure you check out the beginning. And Andrew, thank you for joining me on my show.
You're welcome.
Talking about the Super Bowl halftime show. We'll definitely have you on again. This is just for me to get back into it. And I thank Andrew for coming on because it's always easier to have a conversation with somebody than to just,
yes, it is.
Than to just talk about, just to the camera. So
anytime you need me to come on or help you out, or if I'm hanging out, I'll ask to come on and I'll be more than happy to.
Absolutely.
You do really well, my friend. Keep it up.
Yeah, so do you. And make sure everybody go follow Popcorn and Whiskey right now. Actually, no, you don't have your popcorn. It's not your Popcorn and Whiskey page. It's just your Andrew Poletto page.
Andrew Poletto page, right?
Yeah, Andrew Poletto. That's where you can find Popcorn and Whiskey. But then you also have the fitness.
Top Fitness Strategies, right? Popcorn and Whiskey, Top Fitness Strategies. Now, I do have a Popcorn and Whiskey YouTube page and on Twitch as well.
And also make sure you go check out his Top Fitness Strategies, especially if you want to get healthy or if you're looking for any exercise advice or anything like that. He does good stuff with that. He even had me on one of his episodes, and we talked about disabled people and exercise and exercising in wheelchairs and stuff. So we hopefully we can do another episode or two of that. Thank you, Christy.
All right, my friend, I'm out of here.
All right, Andrew, thank you very much for coming on, man.
All righty.
All right. Thank you, everybody else, for tuning into our episode. I appreciate it very much. Like I said, we have lots of stuff coming up, so stay tuned to the page and make sure you go follow Andrew as Andrew Poletto on his page and tune into his Popcorn and Whiskey podcast because it's really good, nice, easy listening, and he talks about some really cool stuff on there. So make sure you go check him out. And I think that's going to be about. Check out Pastor Gavin. He of course is still releasing his sermons every week like clockwork. He only takes 2 weeks off a year, if I'm not mistaken. So go check him out. He's still pumping out episodes, and the Boiling Point Podcast Facebook page and social media will start being more active and getting up and running here in the next few days. So thank you for everybody for tuning in. I'm very excited about the future and some of the content and series and stuff we have coming up. So stay tuned. And until next time, this is not the end, only the beginning.